Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. It's the 30 Day Show. I am Omi Bell. I'm here with my co-host Cameron Calvin. I'm a slightly different position now. Like I'm at my kitchen table instead of
I
in the
noticed.
middle of the living room. What'd you say?
I said I noticed. I was like, okay.
Yeah. And I have not decorated this wall, so that's why it looks so like plain behind me. But when you move into a new place, what's the first thing you do? I mean, outside of, I'm saying like, let's say all your furniture's moved in, but then like, what is one of the first things you do? Because of course you got to clean.
Walk around the neighborhood.
Well, you didn't walk around the neighborhood before you moved in.
It's different when your stuff in there.
Oh, okay, okay. You mean like you getting settled?
Just settle. Just I
Yeah, yeah,
usually
yeah.
get everything in and then just do a stroll around the neighborhood.
Okay, yeah,
Um,
that's true.
I feel like you were looking for something different. What's the
No, I
first
was
thing
really
you do?
talking about in the house, but thanks.
Oh, okay. In the
Um,
house, first thing I do, if all the furniture's in, that means the TV's there. Usually, the first thing you do is because that's a tiring process, even if you have movers,
yeah,
is I sit down on said couch or bed and watch TV.
yeah. No, that's probably wrong. That's probably wrong. I'm
What's the
trying to
first thing
think.
you do?
Um, go to my bed, get in my bed. Like because
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
yeah,
that.
probably get in my bed, probably watch TV. I agree that it's tiring, even if you have movers. And I have movers that packed and unpacked us.
Are you
Which
in a
are
new place?
no. I'm just saying when we moved here last year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean new place in life, yeah, but not. But we,
Of course. I mean, we're always elevating.
but we
Like,
moved.
what are we talking about?
But when I moved, I just moved here in June. You know what I'm saying? So in terms of like, it's still fresh. I actually said I was gonna do something to talk about like moving across country and like what that was like and what people should consider. Because I had my car shipped. I um I had my I had my car shipped. We had movers that I had movers that packed up everything, put everything in the storage. Then I had movers that took that storage and then brought it out here and then unpacked it. And I'm a firm believer, okay, get movers to pack you up because the Lord have mercy and thank God for the privilege to be able to do that. Good morning, Tiffany. Um, you
Yeah.
know, I'm so grateful because yeah, that packing and unpacking ain't no joke. Just the packing and unpacking is crazy. So, and then what they didn't unpack because I was like, just leave my stuff alone. I'm good. I actually hired a task rabbit. Do you ever hire a task rabbit for things?
I've done it like two or three times. I'm gonna be quite honest. It's the unbonded nature of like if something goes wrong, TaskRabbit is not about to be there to save you.
Well, what are you having them do that you need that has got to be that deep? I
Just
mean,
somebody, some full stranger. This is like the unwritten, and some of it is maybe legal, but the unwritten social contract, or business social contract you have when you hire certain services and people come to your home into your most private space. Having you almost have this feeling like, well, the company knows who they are. They've vetted this person. I know and if something went wrong, there's somebody to hold accountable for it. And I feel like TaskRabbit doesn't feel like that's the case.
I don't know.
I'm just saying that's a feeling. I'm not even saying I know all the
You saying like
rules.
that's not that might not be
That's
something
it.
that literally relates to them. That's just what's relating to
The
you.
TaskRabbit, because it's like the Uber of it. It's like Uber really not responsible for how these drivers act. Like the
But
rental, the
are
gig kind of.
but are they? I think they
I mean,
are to an
they're
extent.
not regulating them like that. I don't know.
I think they
And
are actually.
in my mind, also TaskRabbit is like, are you really good at this? Or are you just saying you do some things?
No,
Like
these
if I
no,
put it
yeah,
like this,
these Yeah, you putting a lot. So
That's my
as
feeling. I'm not saying any of this is accurate. This
okay,
is
okay,
just
okay.
like
Good morning,
what you
London.
just said. Do I hire TaskRabbit? In my mind, this is how TaskRabbit has been positioned in my mind. It's like these are gig workers who may not have this actual skill. That is actually not the case with everyone.
Got it. So here's what I would say about that. But I'm glad. But I mean, this is a good perspective because I'm pretty sure somebody out there maybe think the same thing or didn't even know TaskRabbit existed. So let me say that
There's that too.
TaskRabbit is a platform where you can hire people to do things for you, right? And it could be everything from running errands to uh, documents you need created to hanging pictures, putting together beds, hanging TVs, putting down floor. I mean, literally whatever you could think of, hauling trash. It's probably somebody that's on TaskRabbit that can do it. Whatever it is you need. As a at this moment in time, single woman who is like, I have the idea like hanging a TV, hanging a picture, even putting my blinds up. The number of TaskRabbit things I've done. I've had somebody cook me. I've had a chef come cook me food off
Oh
TaskRabbit.
wow, TaskRabbit
I've
does
had
chefs.
they got everything, bro. I've had somebody come cook me food. I've had somebody hang my blinds. I've had every TV in here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 TVs. Every TV in here is hung by a TaskRabbit. I have oh dang, I'm not normally sitting in that area, but behind me on my living room wall, I have like a art gallery. Like had them come hang that. In my walls in my bedroom back in Virginia, I had those painted, but I had a special design idea. So like how you see I don't know if you seen on TikTok or whatever where that people have like it'd be like a color and it'd be like the lines like white stripes like all over. I did that. TaskRabbit. Unpacking my kitchen. After the movers unpacked all the big stuff. They unpacked the beds, put the beds up. They unpacked like the dressers or whatever, put all that together if it needed to be. They unpacked some of the kitchen stuff, but I had TaskRabbit come unpack the flooring that I laid on the content room downstairs. TaskRabbit. Putting together, let me see what else. Putting anything together, shelves, beds, desks, computer chairs, the kitchen table I'm sitting at, TaskRabbit, put my couch together. Well, no, actually, I think Skylar's that put the couch together. But I'm a TaskRabbit. They need to have review. I don't know why they don't have freaking rewards points. Cause that's I mean, if they have rewards points, I'd probably get a free service by now because that's how much I book TaskRabbit. Like period. Like I'm keeping people employed. Now the thing about it, here's what I love about it. Now also let me say this: from a gig worker perspective, you can count me as keeping gig workers in business, okay? Because like I said, I've hired several TaskRabbits, and that what I just told y'all was for me. We've also hired maybe 1 or 2 for BGV stuff. Then I also what's the other thing I do? So I do TaskRabbits. I do. We use Uber as a platform across BGV to get people fed. Like we have anybody that's in our cohorts, you get vouchers to eat. Plus, we have an enterprise level Uber where our whole company uses it, and if we bring people into town or anything like that, we can always it's a whole business level of the platform that you can manage. So we use that. It makes it super easy. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. Massages. There's this app called Zeal, Zeal, and I've been using it for years. And my an executive coach of mine put me onto it. This is around 2021. He put me
You feel
onto it.
safe
Do I feel safe?
with that.
I
Zeal for
do.
massages.
Zeal, Zeal, and you can
No,
book.
Zeeel.
Oh,
Massage on demand.
Zeal. Okay, my bad.
Yeah,
I'm telling people wrong. It's a
in-home
green
massages.
icon.
Yeah,
Yeah, Z. Okay, my bad then. ZEEL.
In-home massages.
In-home massages, my friend.
It's like the Uber for tense muscles. This sounds crazy. Somebody coming to touch you in an intimate way in your
Number
home.
one, it's back up. It's not. It's. I don't know that it feels that intimate to me.
Okay.
like I don't know that. Like I don't know that I look at it that
This
way.
is the thing. A brick and mortar, having a website and somewhere to hold account, the quote unquote Better Business Bureau is looking over you and all this stuff. Those are the things I think about when I those are the things that I actually give thoughts and credence to when I book these things. Like, and it's something about, maybe as I'm from the phone book era, it's like, hey, they have an address, they have a phone number, they have somebody to call, they have somebody. If something could go wrong, I can get my money back. I can hold this individual accountable specifically,
But
and
what
they
you're
feel
saying,
like they can be held accountable
but they
because
can. This is what I don't understand why you saying that. Like if something goes wrong with TaskRabbit, you can't hold TaskRabbit accountable. What I don't get it.
no, but then it's the worker. Basically, who did I just
So the
Josh, you
way
know
these
the
things
comedian.
work is it's not to their benefit to do anything wrong because they lose their money. So to me, it's more detrimental than some big company that could just give you a refund. Because these people literal bread and butter. A lot of them, like this is how they live. This is their job. So when they get bad review, so you have to review. So on TaskRabbit, you have to review them. And that's how I choose. So you have to read, like I read through the reviews. People like, oh, they was good, but they was late. Oh, they was good, but they didn't clean up. Oh, they like I read those reviews before I choose people. So that's one. Number two, TaskRabbit charges you a fee. So because you're paying TaskRabbit and them, you can hold TaskRabbit accountable and you can get a refund. So they could have came and did all that work and then you'd be like, nah, this ain't work right, whatever, whatever. Now the refund game, sorry, the refund game.
Hmm.
Uber has learned the psychology of giving a refund. Have you ever had something come from Uber and maybe something was missing in your bag and they be like, oh, okay, they put you through a couple steps, they give you a refund right away. Like it ain't
Yeah.
even no evaluation. They don't need no pictures, they don't need nothing. You know why they do that? Because
So
they
you feel
realize
comfortable.
that's right. Because they realize it's worth it. It is cost analysis. It is worth it for us to just refund you because guess what you're gonna do? You can come right back and spend it with us anyway, so we don't care. but yeah, these people they live off this.
No, I hear you. And I'm not, again, in my mind. I want to qualify. It's in my mind. But it is the mindset of having a job versus having a gig job. And people who feel like they have a gig job maybe don't have that same level of allegiance and fear of losing said job. Yes, they
Why?
feel like they'll lose their
What?
money.
How are you saying that right now?
I'm saying
This
it
is
in the
blowing
sense
my
of, if
mind
I
that this is
have a
what you
job,
think.
if I have a job with benefits, or I have a hourly job I had to interview for and stuff, the barrier to entry to get my job it necessarily creates a barrier, creates a sense of, this is a job I'm willing to work to keep because I had to work to get this job, even if, versus a
I think
gig
the
job where I
exact
just sign
opposite.
up. When I just sign up, I could sign up, and if I don't like this, F it, I'll move on to another platform.
But what they got to do with the job that you did? You can't move on without doing the job. So a person that's working, in my opinion, a person that's working for a safe job where you just gonna go every day and get paid anyway is probably in comparison more less lackadaisical about what they're doing than the person that's saying, if I don't move, I don't eat. Right? Like if I don't get this job done right, I don't get paid. If I don't get this job done right, not if I have a month to get the job, but literally if I don't get this one, if I don't hang this picture right, this person, if I don't hang this picture right, if I'm not nice to this person, if I'm not if I don't if I can't speak English well and this person doesn't get my personality, they can literally, after I'm done, go to the app and say, 1 star, this person was terrible, and ruin my whole ability to make money. in an environment where you get, okay, there was a barrier to entry, but you got into the job. Now you just working every day. You don't got that kind of pressure. Like, you don't got the pressure to keep achieving at high levels. You might have like a review that comes at the end of the year, a mid-year review that you worried about. You're not worried about every single piece of work you do having a rating. What? Like, nah, bro. I'm sorry. I gotta disagree with you on that one. That's wild to me.
Why gotta be wild though?
Because I can't, because we're entrepreneurs. You know what I'm saying? So like, if you know firsthand, if your last client don't like whatever you did, and they go tell the net, like, and they start spreading that people don't like what you did.
Right there, what you said. We're entrepreneurs, and technically, gig workers are entrepreneurs. I don't see gig workers all seeing themselves through the same entrepreneurial, I'm building a business lens. This is, I need a job and I need to make money lens. We're
What's the
building a
difference?
business. Huge difference. We're trying to build
What
something.
I mean by, I'm not talking about literal, like, of course we're gonna build a team, but what I'm saying is like the
Not
feeling,
even a team. We're trying to build a brand. I'm not trying to build a brand as
but
the
they
best
are,
TaskRabbit.
but if they're on these platforms, it ain't about brand, like, oh, you
because
need
it's
to know
a
my
short
business
term versus
name.
long term.
But
It's
it
short
is,
term
but
versus
they have to
long-term.
build a brand of who they are in personality, probably more than we do in some way.
Again,
Because if
it's
they
the
get,
short
because
term
we're
versus
not being
long-term.
rated by stars. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not being rated by stars.
It's the short term versus long term mentality. Gig workers short term, so I'm willing to take short term hits and I'll make short term risks. Building a business that you want. Well, that's just my view.
Because what, but you're, I don't, and you are thinking about it as a company brand instead of thinking about it like every job is one off. So if you mess up this one, you may not ever get so like let's take what happened with like Mael or Hanifa, right? So these are brands, they build these things, they make a mistake or something happens, right? Where and then it goes viral. Oh, this is making my hair fall out. Oh, this is oh, they didn't, my order didn't come and blah blah blah. At that point, this commentary has the potential to end you. You know what I mean? Like, this is a difference between like, oh, well, like somebody who works a job and like every day they kind of go in and they do a job every day. Like, they literally, this one thing that Hanifa did drove this one outcome of now like, oh, we gotta take a pause because the public outrage of we did one thing wrong after we did 50 things right is now like shutting them down. Like, that's crazy too. But think about that. Think about if that was every single order versus that one time, that one drop. So from a gig worker perspective, every single job, I don't know that it needs to be, for me, I don't need you to commit to 15 jobs and try to be great at 15. I need you to be great at my one. When you come the guy that hung my pictures, and it's the same guy, he came and hung the blinds and I liked how he worked and I hired him multiple times. The guy that came to unpack my kitchen, I liked him. I hired him multiple times. The woman who in Virginia, I found her on the Zillow app. She became my go-to massage person for 3 years. I had her do massages for other people, for my clients, and for me, and for my daughter repeatedly over time. She gave us Christmas gifts. Like, this became my person. You know what I'm saying? So I would say like, yeah, nah, I feel like it's a worse pressure on them because it's job by job. Like, if you get this job wrong, you're done. Versus like, oh, I got 15 chances to maybe get a job right. Like, they don't have that. But I'm gonna defend gig workers to the end. Like, gig workers are really
I'm not
serious
here
about what they
saying
do.
they're not good. I just said TaskRabbit. I just feel again, we can move on because I'm not saying TaskRabbit is there. My mama hired. This is the one thing. My mom hired some TaskRabbits to come clean the house, and I'm just wanted to make sure my mom was straight. I felt some type of way my mom be in the house as a woman, older woman, and she can't necessarily control who the heck is in the house. She got a nice sized house, and them cleaning up. I don't know if they digging through stuff in the basement. I don't know. She might not even find out, and I just don't. I just be feeling
But you
stuck
don't know
away.
that from anybody.
You're right. That's why I don't like that. I don't like somebody not being there to keep eyes on it because you could take advantage of my mama.
Yeah, I mean, but I don't think it's not a task grabber thing or a gig worker thing.
Okay, and I'm not here to
I
not
had
gig work
somebody move.
as a Uber Lyft alumni, a driving alumni. I'm not here to knock it.
In aside from this, in the greater landscape right now, what's interesting about the world that we are living in is that it is equally risky to get a job or build a company right now, and that's happening for the first time I think ever in our history. That like your job don't mean you're secure, and neither does you starting a business. Like starting a business or getting a job has just about equal risk right now, and it's kind of crazy to think about. I think that there's safety risk on both parts. Hell, they don't know me. They come into my house, in my house. They don't know who I am. They don't know what I got. I think for the women, I had a woman TaskRabbit that came and painted for me. She painted the content room for me, and she painted my downstairs, my extra bedroom. And I was thinking about her too. I had never hired a woman painter, but so I was glad that I saw a woman painter on the app. And I'm like, yes, I'm hiring her. And I think that I thought to some of your point, I thought about it for her. Like, dang, like what if what I'm saying? Like, what if she was going into these houses and it wasn't safe? You know what I mean? What did that look like for her? So I think there's equal risk on both parts. Like the person in the house. It's funny, the massage thing has been interesting. I think initially I was living in an apartment building. So like there's multiple ways that you got seen before you got to me. So I don't think of the risk at that is different. I mean, as in that case. But now that I still have multiple cameras, so you would be seen by somebody. My mama got access to my cameras, but but
That's
I
good.
think yeah. So I'm literally walking to take the trash out yesterday, and she's like, "Hey, what you do?" I'm like, "Mom, really? Like, what are we doing?" So, so yeah. I think some risk should be considered. Like I'm not necessarily saying that people that is people shouldn't think of that, but game changer for massages. Also, like sometimes because I've had so many massages at this point, I do it to find who I'm looking for, and I'm like, this is gonna be my person, and then I'm good. I'm gonna be working with that person forever. Like I don't always plan to have multiple people, but also don't select. So on the massage app, you can select men or women. So I always select women for mine. Um, and out here, let me tell you something. So the difference between being like in the DMV and being out here too is like in DC in the DMV area. Honestly, it might be hard to find people sometime. Out here though, I can be like almost
You think it's hard
almost.
to find people in the DMV on gig work?
Let me just say, not it is not as many people as out here. It's a bigger city. So out
It's
here,
a
I
bigger
could.
city, and it's the nature of Hollywood is a bunch of people who got to work job to job to try to get job. Like,
You ain't never lied, cause I'd be like,
yeah,
what do y'all
yeah,
do?
LA is a independent contract. Is like the independent contract capital of at least the U.S. I don't know about the world, but at least the U.S. Because even in the entertainment business, damn near half of them are independent contractors, job to job, place to place, thing to thing.
I would say that is 1,000% right. Like, so well, and another reason why I'm such an advocate for it, but because literally that's how these people are keeping themselves paid. All these y'all talking about writer strikes and y'all see all this stuff on TV. These people are gig working, I think, in order to keep themselves afloat in the in between. Because I meet so many people where I'm like, you are what now? And they're like, yeah, because whatever in film. And I'd be like, but yeah, but what's your, like, how do you get paid
Paid.
consistently? You know what I mean? Like, what do you work? And they'd be like, yeah,
That was one of the things men and I've talked about this. So last year, I spent the first 6 months of 2025 teaching at USC as a fellow, and this was it. So that was I've done LA for a significant period of time, at least 6 months, twice. Did in 2014 when I tried to work when Billy Bang, a rapper that I had worked with from DC. Well, he's not from DC, but I worked with him in DC. He got a record deal, and I was on Capitol Hill. That was my side hustle. It was my man's. I was managing, shooting videos, all this other stuff, and we got a record deal, 6-figure record deal. And he came out to LA with a LA company, and it was like, hey, I want Cameron to come because he's gonna manage, shoot, do all these things. And I was like, yes, my rap dream. I want to be in the business. LA it chewed me up and spit me out. I took my little savings, all that stuff to go out there. I made some money, but not really enough. And also the music didn't hit, so it's like his career didn't take off, so I didn't take off. And fast forward 10 years, now I'm being paid to be there, living for free, enjoying it. But that mindset of like, oh, this is what you're re immersing myself in the culture and the people and the amount of coffees, dinners, lunches, meetings where you're starting to see through people. And it's like, man, now I'm in
Mm.
my 40s and like not out here dating. I mean, I have a girl, I had a girlfriend, so I didn't at the time, so I wasn't out here dating, but you still having conversations with women and men, and you're just like, so what is it? And because I'm always like, that DC mindset, people always say, we always like, well, what do you do? What do you do? That's like a knock against us. But I'm also trying to understand and position myself. Then what that also creates is a atmosphere, the parties, the events, the stuff I would go to. It created an atmosphere of them trying to suss me out and see like, well, can you be helpful in my journey?
Mm.
And you start to hear the questions, positionings, the way people approach that type of stuff. And I was like, so I started to always feel like I'm trying to be used. And the once people understood what I was doing and like what my role was and stuff like that, I feel like people jumped into that first initial meeting with me so quickly because they were like, "Oh, you
That's
got a
real.
budget? You got
That's
a
why I
budget?"
hate to say, that's why I don't say I'm a venture capitalist. Because if I say that immediately, it's like I put dollar signs over my head. And so
Exactly.
what's funny though is I do more granting than investing. And people don't understand that when I say, oh, I'm the CEO of Black Girl Ventures, it's a nonprofit, and they don't know what it means, and they be like, oh, that's cute. Like they be real like, oh, that's cute. They don't know we are giving out money. And so like I'm cool with that because sometimes it's weird because the oh, that's cute is almost like, oh, she's CEO of a nonprofit, and they just dismiss me. Like, oh, okay, she must be nobody. And I just be like, oh, okay, great. Like, okay, great. Love that. But yeah, like I'm talking to a bunch of people and I'm like, what do you do though? You know what I mean? They're like, yeah, I'm a whatever. Okay, I'm an actor. Okay. What does that mean? But I want to talk about for a second unsafety. What's interesting about so
Unsafety?
yeah. So I was dating this woman one time and I was like, she was so like nervous about things, about like just like safety things because she grew up in the hood. And there's no tea, no shade to growing up in the hood, but I'm just saying for her, everything need to be like, oh, don't leave your phone down like that. Like we might be at a bar and like I have my phone down. And oh, by the way, reveal I'm bisexual if nobody knew that. If you knew me for a long time, you should have known that. So hopefully that wasn't a shock to you. But it was like, what you say to women? Yes, so explaining my sexuality. Yeah, yeah, no, people are like, wait, what? But yeah, I'm bisexual, but I primarily date men now. And I'm definitely I'd rather be in a long term relationship with a man. But I won't ever call myself straight. So so she would be like, I sit like let's say we at a bar and I sit my phone down. And she'd be like, oh, don't sit your phone down like that. Like somebody might take it. And I'm like, ain't nobody gonna take my phone. Like I'm not thinking that in my head. Or, she put the what's that thing that you put on your steering wheel?
The little
What's that? The
cover
hammer,
joint?
what's the thing that you put the
Oh,
little what I'm
the
talking
wheel
about?
lock? Yeah,
Yeah, the
yeah,
little
yeah.
lock thing you put on your. She used to put that on her steering wheel, and I would just be like I get it because maybe where she lived at the time, but I was just like, okay, Um, so what I realized that was a bit different in how we thought about the world is that I felt like the world is safe and there's a few unsafe places. And she felt like the world is unsafe and there's a few safe
The
places.
club.
The club. Yeah, there you go, Tiffany. That's it. She put in the, yeah, the club that you put on your serum.
First of all, you realize you don't even need a club anymore.
Right.
But
I
that was
mean,
when
now,
cars were not as computerized,
right.
motorized. They couldn't dead switch them. They didn't have low jacks, like all these things. The club was like a huge. There's like whole industries that do you remember the Viper?
Yes, protected by vipers. Stand back.
You know, little quick note, not to go off in a tangent. I don't know if he's still the richest member of Congress, but second or third richest member of Congress is the inventor of the Viper.
What's his name?
Um, Congressman, Daryl Issa. He's no longer in Congress, but he's from Cleveland originally. He's a Republican. He served and co-founded Directed Electronics in the 80s, and they got rich doing the Viper. And when I say Daryl Issa, and he's an affable guy, he got out of Congress. And he's like, motherfucker, I'm going back to make money. But he was in Congress and powerful for a while, but he was a congressman for Southern California. Daryl Issa, and
He
he's
created
probably
Viper.
he created Viper. He's a few hundred million up, like 300 plus. And they have to, like, in Congress, he was worth like quarter billion, 200 some odd $1,000,000. And that was when I was in Congress 10 years ago. But
Wow.
anyways,
So he was balling out of
the
control 10 years ago.
so I know he's up even more. But anyways, she
Right.
saw the world as a safe. She saw the world as an unsafe
I
place.
see the world as a safe place, and there are a few unsafe places. I think the same about people. I think majority of people are generally speaking, safe, and that there's a few unsafe people. Right? She saw the world as unsafe, and there's a few safe people. That is a complete flip on reality, and it has the ability to control your outcomes and where you decide to go and the risk you take and how you travel even, and like things like that. Like, and so I realized like this wasn't gonna work because we'd be in a constant battle of like, no, we can't do that. No, we shouldn't do that. No, we can't do that. No, we shouldn't do that. That's fine if we do that. No, it's not.
How
We shouldn't,
old?
because
That's gonna. How old was she, and how old were you at
she's
the
older
time?
than I am.
I know, but
So, oh, at that
estimate.
time, this is like 2013, I guess.
How old? Like, give me
I'm
an estimate.
45, so I don't know what I do the math on that. But I mean,
No,
like,
it's like, so you're in your mid early 30s, but how old was she? Because I think that
she was
I don't know.
just a little, maybe 2 years older than me.
I asked that because I think depending on the time and place you grew up, there was a shift because there's so many people who carried the trauma, especially people places from the deep south and other places where it's like, or super inner city where they saw so much happening. They carry that trauma of like, this is like, there's dangerous stuff happening all around us, and it's not just like crime, it could be the police, it could be a bunch of other things. So
Yeah, no tea, no shade to it. It's just a matter of like, in dating, safety, how you view safety matters. And these things can bake into decisions you're willing to make. Like, I'm very much like free flowing. Let's go try everything. Let's go to X country and stay in the neighborhood. Like, you know what I mean? I'm very much that person. Like, and I think that we would just keep clashing because you'd be trying to anchor me and I would be trying to be free. And like, and if I can't be free in my relationship, then that's not gonna work for me. But it goes back to what I was saying about like the safety piece around like bringing a massage person into your house or bringing a gig worker into your house.
oh,
My view
sorry,
of
I'm slow. I
safety,
was like, where did this come from? And you're
bruh,
like,
stay with
oh.
me, bruh. I'm always tying it back together. But my view of safety is different. You know what I'm saying? That might be because just how I grew up, or like, I don't know. I just it just it's really it's I don't know. I don't know where it comes from exactly. Um but and then maybe sometimes that's that is naive of me, right? Like I'm not even saying that that's always right. It could be naive of me to think that way, because the majority of the gig workers I've hired have been men. So, you know, who knows? But again, I do have cameras, and my mama can't see them. So I got some eyes out there. All right. So good morning,
What are we talking about?
leader. Today is Thursday, March 27th, day 27 of the 30 Day Show. Happy birthday to Mariah Carey and Sarah Vaughan. On this day in 1961, 9 students from Toluca College and members of the local youth council of the NAACP staged a sit-in to protest segregation in the Jackson Public Library in Mississippi. It's also still Women's History Month. Whoop whoop. I am on my way to Detroit, so shout out Detroit if you're out there and you're in Detroit. We pulling up and pitching tomorrow. Go to blackgirlventures.org, check out the event section, pull up, you know, shoot your shot, for the chance to bring some money home for your business or your idea. I'm going there today. So yeah, it's gonna be a good time. Detroit, we want to see you come out. If you know some people in Detroit, let them know. Actually, I need to send a note to my homies. So I didn't send a note to let them know that I'll be there tomorrow.
The
so
D. Do you know that song? It's so cold in the D.
I do not. Who is it by?
I don't even know. It's like one of the most famous songs about Detroit.
Is it? It is so cold in the D. They were not lying. But it cold, cold literally. Like I'm looking at the weather. Like Lord.
Do we have somebody coming today?
We have people on the schedule, but I don't see them.
There's something I really wanted to talk about.
Yeah, I already got it queued up. You want to talk about this Drewski skit, or you talking about something else?
No, I wanted to talk about that, but I couldn't think of a good segue.
Okay, it's Women's History Month, and speaking of, you know, women and depictions of women and what that looks like, feels like, we do have, I don't know if everybody out there saw the Drewski skit. I do have it where I can show the video, so I'm going to share my screen and share the video, and then we'll have some conversation about it. So if you didn't see the Drewski skit, we can share. We're gonna look at it real quick. Also share tab audio. Perfect. Get on your feet,
War is raging in Iran.
We're praying for all the soldiers and troops.
That's great that you're praying, but
How about all the kids that died when the USA hit the towers?
It broke my heart. That is the
In what ways have you grown closer to Jesus?
I serve a righteous God. And that is why we say our prayers. And we are all his children. But when I say children, I mean like the holy, blessed Trinity, which is why I hold the Bible.
Sweet cream foam chai ice matcha. And Bella will have all organic puck cup.
organic.
Yes, everything organic.
Four, 3, 7. Oh, Hannah, you good? 4, 3, 2. Hold your chest lifted. We're gonna lift.
We have to protect all men in America, especially all white
part
men
kills me.
in America. Those are the boys that we care about in this country. America is built on their backs. Yes, because they are the ones who matter most.
Get on Yeah. This joint is so. First of all, let me say this. This level of acting, when he
Production,
even,
the budget got to be $500,000.
but when
He
he
putting
had
in
the
six
dog, I'm talking about the nuance though. Even when he had the dog,
organic,
the way he was
organic.
stroking the dog, the way, like, I was like, yo, this is what you cannot tell that that's not a white woman at some point in watching
I'm
it.
telling you, no. This is how I know it was that good. I didn't encounter this as a Drewski skit because I didn't see the whole thing. It was a clip of the whole skit, and I just saw the walking in, hold up, like with the Meek Mill song and all that. I saw that, and I watched a little bit, and I was like, I guess. And then I watched it again. So I watched it twice before I knew it was like, oh, this is a Juicy skit. And then went to his page and watched the whole thing. And that's when I saw the end and everything. And I was like, oh, this was good because it was so good. I legitimately thought it was just a white woman.
It really does look like the level of whoever's doing his makeup. He probably was like, bring me the people that did the makeup for white chicks.
Exactly.
You know what I'm
So,
saying?
so there's a couple things I wanted to talk about because I want to first talk about not just like the bravery, but the injection of political and social and his political and social, I won't even call them beliefs, but commentary, and especially at this time. And then I really want to talk about that press conference part with the Iran and so forth and how, oh, this was just filmed. First, Drewski came up by just like making commentary about like, oh, this is how a security guard act. This is how the token black guy acts. This is how all these various people act. And everybody could get it. He's talked black, white, Asian, Southern, men, women, gay, straight. Like he's had social commentary in his specifically in his skits while he's also doing his could have been records, while he's also doing could have been love reality show. So he's positioned it, and then he does his commercials and brand deals and all this other stuff. So he's been positioned in so many places. But these skits, for him to have the political commentary in a skit, I love how he puts it out. No conversation leading up to it, and no conversation about it afterwards. I'm not doing no interviews. I'm not going back and forth in any comment section. I'm dropping the Black Church skit. I'm dropping the white country guy at NASCAR skit. Like because that's when I would say it only really started to where it's starting to hit on these nerves, because they almost feel like third rails. But for him, I mean, obviously, I think that's Erica Kirk stand-in of the look, the look and the
That
feel and
white
so forth.
suit.
Yes, the white suit,
Yeah, the white suit.
but the fact that he's being, I won't even say he's putting his political beliefs out there, but he is at the very least being hyper poignant about the commentary of where we are and what this looks like. And I'm sure depending on the viewpoint you have coming into a viewing his skit, I think this is going to be like catnip for the conservative media base. This is like, great, thank you, Drewski. You're so large as a figure. And I mean, right now, I think it's somewhere like 78, almost 80 million views just on Twitter alone. It's probably it's easily going to get over 100 million aggregate views across social channels. So it's something that is being watched and being consumed at a high level. And it just dropped, 2-3 days ago. So it's going to grow. But this is like perfect when you're talking about the Ben Shapiro's of the world and all these other right wing. It's already been talked about on Fox News. And he's probably loving it because it's like his whole thing is like, the more I watch it, he gets paid. I know he gets paid from the platforms. His brand deals are not suffering. And he didn't say anything to me disrespectful as much as he did like, here's a mirror. Here's what you look like.
Yeah, but
I'm curious.
so a couple different things about what you're saying. I 100% agree with everything you said, by the way. Like nothing I'm about to say is not in agreement. I agree with you. And I think that if we zoom out and we talk about comedy, right? Like, let's just talk about comedy for a second. So, like, yes, to this time we're living in, and I think, you know, Drewski is being a comedian, and, you know, yes, to the skits that he had been doing. And now, like, with more capital, he gets to explore and go and really go there with what he wants to do with a lot of capital protection and all of that. And I think that, like, but if we let's zoom out and talk about, you know, black people making jokes on white people over time, right? Like, there's always that has been a thing, and I would say just black people making jokes on people, right? Like comedians in general making jokes on people, but I would say it is common among black comedians to joke about white behavior and white people. Sometimes I think more than I hear comedians of other race joke on other people, which is fine. I'm just saying, like, it's a staple. Like, how many times if you go into a comedy show and it's always oh, the white people in the back, oh, the white people in the front, oh, look at this white person. Like, sometimes it at a point for me, honestly, when it came to stand up, I would just get tired of it at the comedy show, because I'm like, why every time y'all get on stage, you got to call out whatever the white person's doing and not doing in the room, or like, oh, look, we got white people in here, and it would be some type of like mark of, you know, oh, look, oh, we really made it because we got white people in here. You know what I mean? Like, it would always be something. Then you think about the comedic commentary around basically like white people shit, right? So like from Richard Pryor to,
Oh, that's
you know what I
white
mean,
people
to
shit. Yeah.
like that. Oh, that's white people shit. To, you know, Eddie Murphy. Like, all the major comedians have done the white people shit commentary, right? And then you take movies like White Chicks, right? Who, like, in the way that they played it, where, you know, they move it into this like into this space of like, yes, we're undercover, but also there's this, oh, they doing white people shit. You know what I'm saying? Like that like that's a real thing that exists. And I think Drewski is just the now continuation of that. You know what I'm saying? So I think that while I do think he's making smart strategic moves, while I do think he's taking risks that other skits aren't taking right now, I do think that what we've also seen is that, just like any other group of us, white people also laugh at themselves. Right. So like, white people also was laughing at that. They didn't even know, like in that NASCAR skit, they didn't even know that it was Drewski. So they up there saying whatever freely. His acting is what I'm like, yo, love the comedic part, but the level of nuance that he's adding to this, he had to study it. This was not like, oh, I just put on some white face and went out there and just whatever. He had to, because it's the mannerisms that he's getting down. Yes, it's the like the way he's you know, putting on the face and the clothes and all that, but like the mannerisms, the subtle like mannerisms that he is putting on, like, I'm just watching it like, yo, you're embodying this. It's not even like he is doing it, and it is to be funny, but he got to be studying this too. And I think that's the part that I'm hearing you sort of speak to in the level of like political commentary, is like, he didn't just watch one video and do that. Either he is watching the news literally all the time, or he took a time and
He's got writers. He has
his grandfather's white.
No, I don't know. Maybe it is.
I don't know.
No,
Maybe
I
it's
think
his
what
grandma.
Drewski treats his skits like a TV show, in the sense that he has a senior producer, he has a writing team, or like a writing and production team, who is coming up with ideas, pitching it, driving skits, idea, and he's the vessel. So Drewski is, to me, the modern day. He's like a long ass episode of the Dave Chappelle Show. That's my best thing, because he has TV quality production value. It's not a movie, but it's TV quality. And in Dave Chappelle Show, it's like, hey, we got a budget, we can build sets, we can get actors, we can insert famous people if we need to, but we have good comedians in reoccurring. And I think there's a lot of cats like this. I think he's just stepped it up to a level that, like, Country Wayne, who's doing like episodic and like doing long form stuff, and so many others, Desi Banks of the worlds, those guys are also doing these comedic skits and so forth, and they've built into their production value. I think Drewski just because they all came in together. And I'm not, and Drewski, I think, is in some ways crossed over into a full cultural phenomenon in a way Desi Banks and Country Wayne have it. But Desi Banks and Country Wayne have also intense, very large, multi-million people following, making millions of dollars doing what they're doing in their skits as well. But his political, social commentary, especially being able to talk not just about Black issues and stay in those pockets, where I think I would consider those other two his contemporaries. The fact that he has crossed over into political, religious, racial, gender skits and ideas around this. I'm curious if it is going to, that the trope of like a man, in order to cross over, you got to dress up like a white woman, or you got to dress up like a woman. And they always put that on like Black comedians. I'm curious if this is going to be people who have that narrative online, if this is going to be their proof point. Like, look, in order for Drewski to blow up, you have to be a woman.
But here's the thing that I feel like I'm glad that he did different. He didn't put on a dress. So the thing is, that's what they normally say. Oh, you got to put on a dress. That's what you got to dress up like a woman is one thing, but you got to put on a dress. He didn't put on a dress, which I thought was likely intentional. And he did the white man first. So I think it's interesting in terms of like, I feel like he may be conscious of that right now, right? Because if you look at all the other people who dress up like women, it was all men in a dress. From what's that? I don't know if what's that one where it was like Wesley Snipes, Tu Fong Wu,
Tu Wong Fu with love.
All dresses. Miss Doubtfire, dress. Martin Lawrence, dress. Jamie Foxx, dress. Like it is the man in the dress thing that people talk about. But he put on a pantsuit and is mocking conservative women. And yeah, so it says that he may have said that online somewhere. It's not completely confirmed. They're saying like the picture that he put out, he's saying his grandpa was white, but I don't know. Drewski could be joking. I don't know. You know what I mean? His parents are both Black, but yeah, I
don't think that has any bearing on the poignancy, the commentary of the skit. And I want to really talk about the Iran part, the fact that this is current culture. What I think he did there is a couple things. One, he made this hyper timely, and this Iran war, even if it were to stop tomorrow, which it won't, it still will be a thing like in the zeitgeist of like, remember when we struck Iran and it was a whole war under the Trump presidency? So it's going to be a moment in time. So even if it wasn't meant to be immediately timely, which it was, it's also something that it doesn't date it. Some things happen as like a date. It's like, no, that was a major point in history. But his ability to take that and speak to the platitudes, the willingness to kind of go, I'm going to throw my religion on it. I'm definitely not answering your question. I'm one-siding this thing. It's like, we're going to pray for we're going to pray for the people and so forth. But what about the kids? It's like, I'm not even addressing that. I thought the way that they said that was brave in a time like now where so many people, online trolls, all these things could come after him. But the core thing above all, he kept it funny.
No, it's funny.
Like that, just like the church thing, I think he was insulated from all the other stuff. Is like, bruh, he kept it funny. And I think that's why I said he's the closest thing to the modern day Dave Chappelle. We are watching in social media a long season or a really long episode of the Dave Chappelle show for the 2020s, the late mid 2020s. And that's what Drewski is doing. I think even before the country skit and all those stuff where he was the NASCAR skit, the church skit, even what he was doing where he has this whole series of him being a security guard or the various things, I look at those as like he looked at Dave Chappelle. I'm not saying he mimicked them, because shout out to Key and Peele, shout out to Mad TV and Living Color, all the places that have laid the skit foundation. But to me, it is most closely to Dave Chappelle because of the intense political nature of, especially of his most recent skits, without some of them being more overtly political and others tapping into socio-political issues and topics that Dave Chappelle was insert. Because also Dave Chappelle just had straight up silly skits that had nothing to do with politics. Like Little John, his whole Little John thing was, Little John's funny, I'm gonna make fun of this, and he's in the zeitgeist right now. And he had yeah, okay, like that had nothing. There was no politics involved in that. That was just, but I think
so. So here's what I say. I think that I agree. I'm not disagreeing with you. I also, there is this person walks, so this person can crawl. I mean, this person crawls, so this person can walk. This person walks, so this person can run. So I want to give it up to, all of it in some way, right? That the In Living Color and the Mad TV and the I'm just gonna go, if we just go, because I don't think Mad TV was black. So if we just go In Living Color, Dave Chappelle, Key and Peele gave light to Juicy to be able to do what he's doing. And I think that while on the nose political is one thing, I think a lot of what Key and Peele was doing was also political, but it may not have been on the nose political. Meaning some of the things they did, they had political skits, even down to the Obama dapping up the people thing. You know what I mean? They had political skits, but some of the things they were doing were about system, weren't necessarily on the nose political. So again, I want to speak to just comedy. I think that as a smart comedian in your bag, in your lane of whatever that means, going here in this way is very strategic, it's very smart, and it is legacy building, to your point. It is deciding to build a legacy of what I implanted in her, what I imparted. We're gonna remember this time when we were at war, and then we're gonna remember that time when Drewski put out that white conservative woman skit. You're right. I think it is a cementing of your relationship to the moment, which again, if we thread through comedy, is exactly what In Living Color was doing, is exactly what Dave Chappelle was doing, is exactly what Key and Peele was doing, right? It's there's skits from Dave Chappelle and Key and Peele that are just, you never gonna forget. And could have been aligned with the time. It's just that the time may not have been as heightened in conversation and virality as this time, but those things still went viral in a way. And because recent, what was it? Not too long ago, there was Obama really had a moment, or somebody actually had a real dap up moment, and then people was like, "Oh man, that's like that Key and Peele skit." You know what I mean? It came back. I think as a society, we enjoy this, and we need the joy right now of somebody saying something that we all are seeing but can't exactly say it. When a comedian can do that to me is one of the strongest, most legacy anchoring things you can do as a community, as a comedian, is say what we're all thinking but didn't have the words to say, or we're saying in our private conversations, or you just showing it in front of us. And this is why I want to keep praising him for the nuance, because I think you could do a skit of, I would even dare say that with let's say Key and Peele skits. They were doing skits that were showcasing them maybe as different races or different people in different ways, but they didn't, to me, they didn't disappear into it. And I think that's what you're naming around, what I think that
as then when you say disappear into it, you still saw them as Key and Peele.
Right. That's what I mean. This is Key and Peele doing a skit. In this, this is us looking at.
I literally did not know this was Drewski.
Yeah, this is us looking at a conservative white woman, right? That is literally another white woman could have done that skit. You know what I mean? Another white woman could have done that skit, and we would have been like, oh wow, this is this white woman making fun of white women, right? that's what it looked like. It did not look like this is Drewski making fun of anyone. It was like, oh, and so for me, I watch a lot of film. I watch a lot of movies. I love watching movies, right? It's one of my favorite things to do. When you can forget that is that actual person because they're so into the role that they are whatever the role is, to me is like the highest mark of like acting talent is that I didn't even know that was you. Like I literally just like forgot it was you, and now you are what you have embodied. Like and then sometimes it's hard to come back from that. So the way he's doing it in comedy is totally different than the way actor
Of
may be
like
doing it in a movie
when people
or a series.
like, especially if people become like a major IP character, Spider-Man or Superman or
Yeah, or Ghost.
Rocky or
right from
or
Stars.
Ghost. Yeah,
No matter what movie he's in, he's Ghost.
Ghost.
Or the dude from
But comedy's a little different.
yeah, comedy's a little
Unless you have to make strategic choices to not be that, because you can be also known as comedic character, but it's on the actor and the project. And sometimes the actor could be really good in other projects, but if the overall project, the overall movie or TV show wasn't as good and wasn't as popular, it's hard to see them outside of that. But because we know people who have, like Steve Urkel, for example, Jaleel White is Steve Urkel.
period. No matter where you see him. But you know who I think was done it well, not from a skit perspective, because now we're just talking about film and comedy in general right now. Somebody I think has done it well that I don't think gets a lot of praise for is Mike Epps. So Mike Epps, I've seen the one role that he played in like Dreamgirls, I think it was, and then there's another serious role that he has where it's like, oh, he can get serious, but then he still has comedic roles that he still is casting all the time, and you're like, oh, he's funny. Because what happens is either the comedian goes into acting and they become a serious actor, and they're not comedic anymore, like Jamie Foxx, right? Like right now, Jamie Foxx is a comedian, but like he's a movie star. So like, and he's won an Oscar, I think, right? So now it's kind of like when you see him in a movie, it's not about him being funny. He's now a serious actor that has.
But he can be
some
fun. No, he's been funny in movies.
What movie? I mean, he's a serious actor that has comedy, but not a comedian. You know what I mean? Because what movie? Like he's funny, but not in like oh yeah, he's actually a comedian that's acting sense. That's not what I see now.
Oh no, I think he's elevated himself past that. But that's also because the comedians who do that still stick to comedy consistently. And I think when we say comedy and comedians first, we're talking about stand-up hyper specifically.
Yeah. True.
Because comedic actors or even Key and Peele, they don't do stand-up. And you're like, oh, you wouldn't even call them comedians, but you're saying like, hey, they're funny actors or comedic actors.
But did they do stand-up at one point?
Not where they were known for it in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't. Yeah, not what they're known for sure. I wonder, what's interesting about people like Key and Peele is like, where did they even come from? Yeah, you know what? Because like, I don't, and me, and again, no shade to them because I don't know. Like if they didn't have if they didn't have particularly like stand-up careers, and then they bust out with like a TV show, which I think is dope. But I don't think I'd ever seen, and maybe this is just me and my limited view, hadn't seen Key or Peele prior to that.
I hadn't either. I don't actually know where they came from. They were writers. As far as I know, they were some type of writers. And then next thing you know, they had a whole Dave Chappelle walked away, and they had a whole
opportunity opened up.
Opportunity.
And the world of writers is so vast, and I don't know that people understand this, right? Like there's a whole world of people behind. It's almost like I don't want to say this because I don't want to be disrespectful to the art form, but the way I'm gonna share like the metaphor of what it's like is like you saw this whole building be built, but there was hundreds of construction workers behind that building be built that you will never know. Their name isn't on the building, will never be seen or reverenced or any of that for the most part. I mean, granted, you do have writers awards, but I'm saying like for the most part, when it comes to the fame of it all or the notoriety of it all, the people who know, and the general public don't know how many writers were behind this. Even when you think about every award show you're looking at, a lot of times there's writers writing the comedy into those award shows that we never know. All the songs you hear, there's more than one writer writing that. All the TV shows that you see, there's a set of writers in a writer's room writing all of that. Like, there's so much writing happening behind the scenes on everything that we're seeing visually, and you don't know how the sausage is made because you don't see those people. So then people like Key and Peele pop out, or like the girl who what's the girl who has the song Lord have mercy. What's the one?
That's her song, Lord
Friend,
Have Mercy.
how you been? Nobody knows me like you do. Nobody knows me.
I know the
like
song.
you
I actually
do.
don't know her.
I cannot think of her name. Money Long. She was a
Money Long.
writer on multiple songs that everybody loves. You know what I'm saying? And then she came out. Same thing with The Dream. Writer, multiple songs, and then came out. So it's like, there's all these people who are behind the scenes making these things happen. So when we see skits like Drewski, I often think to myself, like, this was so well done. I wonder what the team, to your point of budget, I wonder what the team looked like to get it done. Because that makeup in and of itself.
He's shown them a couple times. I know he has a couple folks on his team that are his like producer writers and so, but and then that's also, to me, that's the production. Once they go into production, I'm saying that the minds who like, this is what we're gonna say, these are the
They got to be the writers too. What you mean once they go into production?
No, you're saying the makeup and stuff like that. I think that's just, I invested in production.
It's
You
all
understand?
investment in production though. Even the writers, it's all an investment in production. But I hear you. I think you're talking just on the visual side, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the whole thing is a production budget, including writers, directors of photography, whoever's behind the camera. It's all production budget. But yeah, I hear you on like Danisha. I see you. I guess one of our guests for today. It's interesting because I also think that like people may to the point of us talking about production. There's this group of YouTubers, this little girl named Salish and her dad, and they have I want to say they got I want to say they have like maybe 5 million subscribers, something like that. 3 million subscribers on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And they do bunches of like just things. I don't know, just different things. And we were because I think
They do things.
yeah, they do bunches of things like challenges and scavenger type things, and they be running through the city doing stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I can't describe. My daughter watches. I don't watch it. So, but I'm always hearing it because she's watching it on YouTube. So she's watching it like on her tablet or whatever, and I could just hear them talking. But the level of production that goes behind it is so interesting. They show their team sometimes too, but we happen to be at the Culver City Stairs, and the Culver City Stairs is a hike. It's like a long set of stairs up a hill, and Skylar's like, my daughter, she's like, Mom, I think that's Salish's crew. And I'm like, because like we roll up to the parking lot, there's a bunch of people like standing around the parking lot. Like Salish and her dad weren't there. But she's like, Ma, I think there's their crew. And I'm like, what you talking about? You know, because like I don't know these people, okay? But she watches it enough where when they do bring their crews on camera, she's watching, right? So she's like, no, Ma, I think that's their, this is like one of her favorite YouTubers. So she's like, I think that's their crew. And I'm like, you know, me, I'm being a mom. I'm like, okay, girl. Well, I don't know.
That's the world we live in, where the YouTubers, the social media, the TikTokers, the people who have like, that's their TV and movies.
It is now absolute. Like there is not like every now and then me and her, not every now and then, well, every now and then she will look at like something on Netflix, but we together will have like our own, like we're gonna watch something moments, or hey, we're about to eat dinner, let's watch something, or hey, like we'll do that. But on her own, it's all YouTube. And there's like 3 YouTubers maybe. There is 4 maybe YouTubers that she watches like all the time. And these people are one of them. So as we came back from the hike, now Salish and her dad was there. And then I was like, oh, I get it. But the fact that people know their crews is way different than the world that we grew up in, where you never know who these people's crews are. You never know who these writers are. You never know any of that. And they were super kind, you know. So we approached one of the crew members and I'm like, oh my God, like my daughter loves them, whatever. And she was in the crew, the lady who's like the head of the crew, she was like, I think y'all can get I think you can get a photo if you just go ask. And so she got to take pictures with her favorite YouTubers. And to her, that's the equivalent of me meeting Jamie Foxx on my birthday at Nobu. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, so, yeah, but it's funny because she knew. So because here's another thing, we were at Nobu and we're eating or whatever. And so, you know, all these people have security guards with them. So she's like, Ma, I think that's somebody famous. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm like, okay. And she's like, no, Ma, look, she didn't know his name, but she maybe seen him on some, because we watch that they have like a spy movie with like Jamie Foxx and Gwyneth Paltrow. I don't know if you ever seen that. It's really good. But she knew him from that. So she's like, Ma, look. And so it was Jamie Foxx. And then so he stopped and he spoke to us and everything. He was super kind. My aunt wouldn't let the man go. I'm like, it's my birthday. Can I take a picture with the man? But I think the world of stardom is shifting, or has shifted. And the way that the kids look at them and their crews too is so different. Like, she knows the people in Casa Knott's crew. Like, she knows the other dudes.
But
that I'm
there's
like,
legitimately to that point, most of them got at least 1 million plus followers.
It's true.
And but that's because it's a heat bubble. The more you're in the bigger one, but he's purposely giving them all things, and they also stream themselves.
They do
outside of Kai.
And before him, he took off, but actually before him, some of them
went before.
He joined their crew actually. Like, they all were the dudes that he ended up doing. They already was a crew. He ended up just taking off in a certain way. So I think like these streamers, it's the world that we're in now. Shout out to Drewski, super smart, courageous skit. And in the middle of mixing together like what would be seemingly nonsense plus, and I think that's the dance of like having people almost slightly dismiss you as nonsense, and then coming back with like poignant content like this that can stretch across like multiple generations is just so dope. You know what I mean? Like, that's just so dope to me that like, you can the dating thing he's doing. Am I dialed into that every show? No, but I love the one with the stud going back and forth is super funny to me. But I don't watch it really I'm not watching it continuously. Then for him to come out with this is like so poignant and so smart. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's the kicker to it too. Yeah. Denisha, I don't know if you are ready or not because you have your camera off. I was waiting for you to turn your camera back on so we can bring you up. Oh, there you go. Okay, cool. All right. We have a guest today. We're going to bring her up. Denisha Dawn, as she goes by. Hello.
Don B.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I am doing well. Thank you for asking. How are you both doing?
I'm
okay,
good.
raise the
I'm
roof.
good.
Okay.
Yeah. That was that's the dad move right there.
You remember when you told me yesterday, like, you give me good dad energy.
You're gonna be a good dad. I'm here for it.
Did you guys see that thing that it said asking my suburban kid to square up? Did you see that thing on social media?
Oh my goodness, yes I did.
Oh, where is it? That
sounds
amazing. I want to do that.
One of my homegirls did it. We were to her son.
Is it on Instagram,
laughing.
TikTok, what?
Go ahead.
I don't know actually. She sent me the video, but I think it's on TikTok.
Okay, so I saw it on Instagram on Revolt.
Okay.
Instagram, but it's probably everywhere. You have to see it, you have to laugh, and then you have to do it.
I
It's
will
so
look, hey,
funny.
as soon as the show ends, I'm gonna go.
It's so funny. Because they don't know what to do. They'd
Right.
be like, you're like, what? What's your IG, Don?
Mine? Life Coach Dawn. And Dawn is DON, so Life Coach Dawn.
Thanks so much for joining us. Tell us a little bit about what you're doing. So, one, it's interesting that like PR strategist and life coach in the same title. I don't think I've seen that. I see. So tell me, I'm curious about how they thread together, or how they, or how you push them forward either separately. Like, what does that look like for you?
Yes, thank you so much for asking. And I have a strategy to kind of share more with my audience about that, because I think they were kind of wondering the same thing, like, wow, Coach Don just all of a sudden doing PR now. And no, I'm going to share more. So I'm so glad you asked. And thank you for the opportunity to be here. So I have been a life coach and a speaker for over 7 years. And I'm also in PR. So I have been in PR marketing for over 15 years in the corporate space. So I did leave my corporate job and I started my own PR and marketing agency. So it was kind of like two different worlds, but in working with my clients, I realized that they actually blend very well together, because what I do is I help women entrepreneurs to have a healthy balance in their lives. And my motto is balance over burnout. And as entrepreneurs, you know, burnout is real. Like, burnout is so real in life. But as an employee, I had to learn boundaries, right? And then as an entrepreneur, I had to learn boundaries. So I realized that a lot of my clients are looking to actually increase their visibility, mostly on social media, and just kind of get out there. I'm also a public speaking coach, because since I'm a speaker, people were like, oh, do you teach public speaking? And I said, no, not really. But then I realized I had already been doing that, because in my corporate role as a PR manager, I was training the managers how to speak with the media. I was writing talking points. I was giving tips, and I was the media spokesperson. So because I couldn't be everywhere at the same time, I was telling them the to-dos, what to do, what to say to the media, what not to say. So I've really been doing a lot of the things before, and now I'm just doing it as a full-time entrepreneur. So yeah.
You know what was interesting about it is I could totally see how that threads through. Just something that I don't see people put together often, you know? But I could definitely see how it threads through in terms of like PR and life coaching, and what does that mean to create boundaries. You talked about boundaries.
Yes.
Let's talk about that. What are in the way you describe it to your clients, at least, what are boundaries?
Yes. So boundaries. Wow. Thank you for asking. Boundaries are so necessary. And a lot of times people think boundaries are there so you can just be in a box, right? And just be to yourself. But no, honestly, boundaries help you to have good relationships with people and have it at in a healthy way, and keep people in your lives, but at your own where you're giving and pouring, but it's not to your own detriment. So boundaries are there so you tell people kind of how to deal with you. A lot of times, as for me, I was a recovering people pleaser. And I realized it was a trauma response, because I just wanted to, I wanted everyone to like me. I wanted everyone to be happy. And at the end of the day, we can't pour from an empty cup. And we have to make sure that we are doing it. Like, self-care is not selfish. Self-care is necessary. So when I talk about boundaries, I would say, honestly, they're necessary for everyone. Like, that mean you get a boundary, you get a boundary, you get a boundary. Like, everyone gets a boundary. You have to have boundaries with work. You have to have, in order to have a healthy balance, you have to have boundaries.
Yeah. So I heard someone say, thank you for sharing that. Shout out to NY Della, by the way. Her shirts that say "Not selfish, just self first."
Yes.
The one of the things I heard somebody
That's
say.
hot. I like that. Not selfish, self first.
Yeah.
Yeah. I heard somebody say, boundaries govern you, rules govern other people. So what happens, I think people get confused in between, like, I'm setting my rules or I'm setting my boundaries, but then it's all about the other person. So for example, don't call me after 9 p.m. That's a rule. I'm not answering my phone after 9 p.m. is a boundary, and then actually not answering it, right? It's not me trying to tell you what to do. You can call me after 9 p.m., but I'm not gonna be answering my phone. Like, I'm not talking after 9 p.m. because that is what I've decided I'm gonna do, right? So it's like boundaries govern you, rules govern other people, and understanding the difference in between the two. And not to say that you won't have rules, but just knowing that what you can control is who you are and what you do, and you can't always control what other people do. And sometimes the need to control what other people do with what we give them, and then when they don't follow the rule, it just drives us into more anxiety versus a boundary that you could be setting for yourself to govern how you're gonna be. How do you want to be? How are you being? I think is actually something that we need to like ask people more. How are you being? What's your being like? How are you?
Yes.
You know, you can get deep. Some even like listen. That's why I be look. I be sifting through them quick on these dating apps because I be like, "How's your heart?"
How's your
They
heart?
be like, "Wait a minute, I don't know. I don't know how to articulate that." And I'm like, "Yep." So we probably shouldn't. If I can't wake up in the morning and be like, "What's the meaning of life?" We probably not gonna make it because that's just how I am. We're not gonna make it as friends or in a relationship because that's just me. Like I'm having a deep thought all the time. You ain't gotta like go in deep with me. You just gotta know. Here she go. All right, and you gotta be able to handle that. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So
You dropped so
yeah.
many gems right there. Oh my goodness. So true. Oh my gosh. So enforcing the boundaries, right? Because you can have the boundary, but enforcing it. So that's where you said you have they call after the time, but you don't answer, or you put it on do not disturb. So, and yes, how's your heart is a great question. I love that question. So they should appreciate it. And I hope they can get with the program if they want to be with somebody great like you. Okay.
Al. Oh no, Cameron, what you think about that? What if you on this date now? We just having like regular, like, oh, how was your day? How was your day? Oh, what do you know? What do you do? What do you do? Oh, what do you like? What do you like? And then a day goes by, you know, of us doing that. And then I say, how's your heart? What would you?
I'd ask more questions. I'm not shocked by that, but I think I'm a more evolved man than what it seems like a lot of folks
Period.
I
Yeah.
hear. I mean, I done been through therapy a few times. I done loved and lost and loved and lost. My fault, they fault, mostly my fault. I'm out here, you know what I mean? I got Jesus in my life. I
Amen.
lost him, came back. Made a couple of
Not lost and came
dollars.
back.
Yeah, I did. I got lost, came back, made a couple dollars, spent a few more. So I feel like I'm not, and I like talking to people and having randomly weird conversations, deep conversations, inappropriate conversations, political. I like that stuff. So I would fully engage. I might ask for clarification in a cool way, you know, and I'm a communicator by lunch. So people are like, you got a mouthpiece. I get how I'm a mouthpiece and I'm 6'2", so I get how I get where I need to go.
So do you have any single friends?
They're not me.
Oh, I'm just saying you said 6'2", and I'm like, okay, so they love you. I'm like,
Not
okay,
they're
Said
not
that, like,
me.
yeah, they're not me though.
I
You looking
can't.
at me thinking you gonna get a me mirror. You're not getting me. You getting them.
that's true. I mean,
That's right.
listen,
But
My
birds of
homeboy
a
single. He
birds
5'6"
of a
though.
feather fly. What?
exactly. Thank you, birds of a feather, right?
Birds of a feather flock
I
together.
think that was when you were younger. The older, it's like circumstance and stuff.
I can't because
You know, when you're birds of a feather, think about it. Like if I'm a married husband, more than likely birds of a feather flock together doesn't necessarily hold true because either I'm hanging out with my married friends that are now I'm there due to my wife, due to organizations, due to work, due to kids, the things that bring people together. I mean, I'm 44. The things that bring people together at our age versus shared experience, shared proximity of childhood, of college, of grad school, or early, like we're in your 20s and stuff. If you're like waiting tables and stuff, those shared experiences there, and then we're more brought together by our personal social beliefs, our shared circumstance. But as we go into the older you get, you realize like don't nobody give a damn about me. I gotta. They may, but I still have. It's on me to my success. No one gives a damn about my success truly, even if they're invested in it. you have to be the first in the biggest investment in your success and who you are. So I think the birds of a feather is my actual circle are now the people that I carried and grew with from those earlier years. So we were similar in those. We're different, but we've evolved to, because we have that love and trust. We've evolved, but they're not the same. I'm the last of my college crew. I'm the last single person. My 20-year group chat, I'm the last of the 7. And I don't want to be, but I'm just the last of the 7. My new friends, yes, there's plenty of single friends. They are not me. So when you see me by proximity and you're looking at it, and I'm not saying they're not dope dudes. They're just, I didn't come together because birds of a feather. It was more circumstance because I'm in politics and I'm in certain places. And I have a ton of people I'm cool with, friends with, and truly friends with because of the nature of what I do. The deepness of like, I can introduce you to a bunch of single people. Don't look at me and say, I like this guy. Am I going to get something like him? I just introduce you to somebody else.
No,
Does
it
that
was
make
kind
sense?
of a half joke, but I understand what you're
See,
saying.
notice that means it was also a half truth.
Yeah, that's why.
You gotta
Exactly.
be half.
Where are you
something else.
based?
I'm in Los Angeles, sir.
Hey.
What? Go ahead.
I was gonna say, you also said something really important. Talked about Jesus and therapy. So to me, period, like that's something I really believe in. So amen to that. And yes, just wanted to say that.
What are some of the common things that you see as your life coaching people, that they're hang-ups or things they're trying to like work through like right now in this time frame? Like we got all these layoffs, we have war anxiety, we have a lot going on. What are you seeing? We have gas prices up. What are you seeing?
Listen, so much. A lot of what you said, but first, I see a lot of imposter syndrome. You know, a lot of people are pivoting, transitioning, but they don't feel worthy of that new experience. And a lot of times doesn't mean that you're not ready or you're not worthy of that new experience. It's more so, it's just a new experience. So I see a lot of imposter syndrome, just kind of mentally, a lot of people are mentally overstimulated. And I believe in balance, right? Balance looks different every day and balance in different ways. So I tell my clients to stay informed, but to have breaks, right? You don't need to be watching the news or watching social media all the time, even though, yes, I know the importance of being consistent and staying engaged on social media. I myself just came back from a break and I posted yesterday and someone commented and said, thank you, because you gave me permission to remember that I can take a break and that I don't have to always be on all the time. So I also know, especially with Black women, still, when I started my business and still clients, friends, people, they feel guilty for resting. They feel like they have to always be doing something. Like rest is productive, period. Rest is productive. Like schedule that rest in your calendar. I believe rest is productive.
I have a question,
Go
Don
ahead.
B. So this is the life coach industry that I always have a view. Do you come in as a coach with a perspective in a way, things that you've either built out a methodology and a framework, and you come in and apply said framework methodology to the person, no matter who they are? Or do you go in to assess a person and then develop a methodology framework for them? I asked that because when you said question. These like rest and productives and stuff, and I'm like, let me not tank the water with my ideas. That's my question. Do you come in with do you have a framework? We definitely
sit divided on the rest part.
Right.
No, that's why I don't want to take my answer or taint her answer. To that question.
Yes. So that's a great question. And that's something that I love to share, is that I create a customized approach and a customized program for each client because everyone is different. So yes, I have my experience, I have my methodology, but at the end of the day, everyone needs different things. So in that first consultation, that discovery call, I'm able to learn exactly what they need, what their goals are, and where they are now and where they want to go. So from that call, of course, I will create an action plan for them, and I will have to have their buy-in. So is this something that you need? Something that's going to work for you? Are you good with this? Some people will say, no, this is too much. I don't want to work on all these things at one time. I want to just focus on one thing, and then we'll scale it down. So at the end of the day, it's more of a communicating, and we're working together, because when my clients win, I win, we win together. It's not about me just telling you what to do. It's more about working together to achieve their goals.
Yeah. So I would say, you know, that Cameron has just not hit the point in his career yet where he understands the rest as performance part. Because
No,
think that we
I get
will.
it. I get it. I just ain't got enough. I don't have enough zeros in my bank account and enough people working for me full time that I'm okay with taking that rest.
But I
That's
think
just
that's
where I'm at.
I just think that that's a societal conditioning, to be
Yeah.
honest with you. So like,
Maybe.
I don't know that that is actually the truth of how it has to work. I wish I would have found it a lot sooner, but I didn't. But I didn't. I didn't find it until I hit a wall. Because I'm not satisfied with level of zeros in my bank account. Period.
Me either.
So like, but that has nothing to do with like understanding how well, one, you know, even if when I think about all the business, all the places that business is happening, the golf course, the country club, the private club, the what are some other places? Even if you look at the freaking Capitol building, all these things have a couple things in common. They have these hues, these color, like this warm hues, warm lighting, or the like almost dim-ish lighting to an extent. The golf course, you have natural lighting, you have trees, you have, you know, like you're riding on a, or you're walking in that time. There's something about time, like these places introduce, we gonna be here for a minute. We gonna be in this office for a minute, we gonna be in this private club for a minute, we gonna be on this golf course for a minute. Ain't no golf game quick. We're gonna be in this little sauna together for a minute. Like a lot of these spaces where deals are being done in a certain way at high levels all have time and like a slower pace attached to them, because it's all about relationship.
Yes.
And to be honest, like we may be running to the place to build a relationship, but sometimes you have to slow down to build those relationships deeply where you can make certain asks. So ultimately, I think moving from a regulated nervous system is always gonna be a game changer for anybody. So I'm not against grind culture because I've done it. I'm just realizing that it's not sustainable.
Yes.
And that it actually isn't. The things that we've been taught that is bringing us, I have them in question right now. Because I also was of the belief that like, slow down, time, like I was like that too for a long time until now, where I'm like, actually it is the scheme that Todd set up. That we,
no, that's real. I didn't grow up with this mindset either. So I feel you. I feel operating in trauma response. I've been on my own since I was 15 years old. So I've always worked 2 jobs, went to school, hustle, grind. Like I have to work so hard. And I was actually taking pride in being burnt out. I used to post first one here, last one to leave at my job as if it was my company. Like I was just so proud. I'm like working 15-hour days. I would say that I only needed 2 hours of sleep and that's it. And I don't even drink coffee. Like I was proud of being burnt out. People were actually applauding.
You said something right there. Proud of being burnt out. Wow. That you saying something. It's that badge of honor.
Yes, thank you. The badge of honor, the superwoman syndrome, right?
I'm gonna write that down. I was proud of being burnt out. That's a word.
Yes. No longer.
I just don't. Well,
And I
in the
understand.
old sense of burnt out, I could be the same way. But now the kids like burnt out means something totally different. Oh, she burnt it. You know,
Oh, burnt out.
like she burnt it. Yeah, you burnt out.
Oh,
Take me through
Ashley,
that.
yeah,
Take
and
me through that.
Ashley, we should be using it the same way. So,
Win
like,
whammy. Win. You know that song Win Whammy?
no.
no. Where you
Y'all just
based?
showing, yeah. I'm in DC, but I'm all over the country. I just was in LA. I'm all over.
When is
Y'all don't
this?
know Win Whammy?
When did this
What?
come out?
Right.
A year ago. It's like huge. It's out of Atlanta.
How do you spell it?
Win Whammy.
Win
Wow.
whammy.
Okay.
Win. That's what I said. Win Whammy. YK Pluto.
Yeah, I'm
Young
looking at
Pluto.
it.
Young
Yeah,
Pluto
I'm
and
looking
YK
at
Niece. Oh, she burnt out. She burnt out.
We
Okay.
got to play it for the people like us.
No, we don't want to actually
Oh,
play it.
okay. I thought she was playing.
Do you have children?
No, I was looking at it.
No, I don't.
I was gonna say, don't have kids in the room.
Don't have kids at all.
In the room.
Oh, in the room. Okay. No, some people say that like don't. I'm not gonna say one of my friends say don't. Just don't. But
Danisha Don B, the PR strategist. Make sure you drop your info because we're always looking to hire as part of the Huge Collective. We always need really good PR folks and people who can get stories placed, especially in this challenging media environment. And I know a ton of LA folks who always claim they need PR. I don't know if they can pay for it. So same way. Like, do you got single friends?
Where
I
do
got
you work,
some. I don't know. I got some. I don't know if you need them. I don't know if these, you look because they look at me like, oh yeah, Cameron, you got PR. You know, I'm like, yeah, I'm just sending you. You vet on your own.
yes, exactly. So thank you even for saying that. Where do I drop my info? Say less. I'm ready. I'm accepting.
Well, you can drop it in the chat here. There's a private chat on the side.
chat? The
But I
chat
have you up on the
here.
screen. Make sure you check her out at Life Coach Don. Thanks so much for joining us. We appreciate you.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Yeah. And are you in my LA group?
Yes, thank you so much for
Okay,
starting
good.
that.
Okay, good.
How did
try
you get hip to
listen,
Omi?
did I send y'all the verses? I think I sent y'all the verses. Yo, I try to get into the verses tonight. Is it tonight? Or was yesterday?
It was you
Last
you missed it. It was
I
last night.
missed it. Why didn't we talk about that? I gotta go though. But
We
we should
could-
have talked about that. I missed
It was
the whole
really
thing.
good too, like really good.
Okay, I'm gonna have to go back and watch it. It's somewhere that I can go back and watch. But
No, yeah,
but somebody
Complex-
sent
looks
me
on
the ability
Complex
to
on
go
YouTube.
be in it. So go to it. So
Oh, you
immediately, as soon as
missed
they
out.
sent it to me, I RSVP for it. But I didn't make it in. Lord. I didn't make it in the number. I don't know how they choose people for some of this stuff.
How you didn't make it in?
No, I didn't make it in to go see it live. They had
That's
a
why I'm
thing.
shocked, 'cause I saw people that were there, and I'm like, you should have been there. But
I know, but I didn't make it. I don't know. I don't know what happened. They didn't call my name. My number didn't come up. I don't know.
do you
But,
have Apple Music? I know you have to have Apple.
I
Music.
do. I have
No, it
Apple
was on.
Music.
It streamed on YouTube on.
No.
under
For the
Complex.
RSVP, you
In
had to have
person.
Apple Music.
Trying to go in.
For the
Oh.
in person, yeah. You had to have Apple Music. Yeah. So anyway, thank y'all. Dang, I have reviewed that I have now revealed that I missed it. Okay. They cut this part from the record.
Okay.
So nobody sees this part. I'm gonna go watch because I'm so glad that you didn't be like, let's talk about that today. Because I wouldn't have been able to talk about it. Child, I had a client last night and I was asleep.
I didn't watch it live. I went back. I watched the end of it live, then started it from the beginning.
Okay, you said Complex on YouTube. All right, I'm gonna go look at it. Matter of
Yeah, I
fact, I
was
could look at it
excited.
because I have not packed my suitcase for Detroit. So I'm gonna go do that right now because I gotta get on the plane in like an hour.
Oh.
Thank y'all so much for
Safe
for
travels.
being here.
All right,
Thank you. It's a 30-day show. You know what I realized, Cam, about tomorrow, Ashley? Are you gonna be here tomorrow?
Let's talk about it off mic.
Oh Lord. Okay. Well, what I'm gonna do tomorrow then is I'm actually gonna live stream from the pitch competition because I realized that the time is East Coast time, and that's actually gonna coincide with the show. So I'm just gonna I'm gonna come on and greet everybody and everything. But
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it later because I think this weekend, Saturday, Sunday, is going to be an interesting way.
Uh-oh.
Because I want to hold it down on Sunday. I really.
Okay, you good on
excited about
Sunday.
that.
So on Sunday, by the way, y'all, Cam will be holding it down by himself. My content support, my awesome content support person, Kira, she's gonna come open up the live and everything so Cam can get on, and then he will be managing it from here. So I would not be here on Sunday, the first day of the 30-day show that I will be missing. And then the next day, I will be here to wrap up the end of the show. All right. So thank y'all. We
So at
appreciate y'all.
10:40, guess what? We 10 minutes over, but we love getting people a little extra. So
Yeah. But at the end of the show,
the show going in.
show going in. That's it. Thank y'all so much for joining us today, day 27. Y'all have a great rest of your day.
Peace.